Well, good morning and happy Thursday, everybody. Wow, here we are again. Episode 9 of LeadHerShip. Thank you for being here and taking the time to listen. I am so excited to share with you today. Today, we're going to be talking about letting go of judgment. So we have gone through some topics here, and we've covered a little bit about judgment already. We talked about forgiveness, releasing resentment, and letting go of judgment. And I wanted to create a whole episode about judgment and letting go of judgment because it happens so often and I see it so much and I experience it myself. And I sometimes will be out there judging people and I'm like, what the heck, girlfriend, what's going on? And I see it so much, and I just wanted to spend some time talking about that because the reality is that judgment keeps us completely separate and judgment disallows us to grow. When we are in a judging space, we are not able to grow. We're not really able to be blessed in that circumstance or that situation at all. It really does kind of close off any kind of growth or miracle or achievement from happening. And then if you are, I'm thinking about like in the sales industry, I experience a lot. I'm in real estate sales, right? Any kind of sales industry can be kind of like, I'm good and you're bad. And life can very much be, I win, you lose kind of mentality. So I really just want to flush this out with you today and talk about the idea of judgment, releasing judgments and the reasons why. And so, the reality is that I can win and you can win too. We can have a win-win. We don't have to win-lose. And so I can have a very successful real estate brokerage and have a very successful real estate team. And so can you, even in my same community. Isn't that miraculous and amazing? We can be friends even. Isn't that amazing? And this is something that I have not believed for a lot of my life. This is like a new thing for me. And it's a new thing for me because as I've stepped into leadership and owning my own real estate brokerage and going through all that stuff, I too began kind of this idea that the heart of the reason why I have a real estate brokerage is because I really did see a need in our community for beautiful customer service, for this heart that is looking out for our community member and isn't just looking at a commission check and getting paid and things like that. And I did see a need to be a blessing to the vendors that we work with, and that we can honor and respect them and ensure that they are well taken care of. And then that increases us so much more when we do that. And I really do believe that when you treat people the way that you want to be treated, you can't help but be successful. You know, that's the kind of thing. And I have experienced where other people, because of whatever they're going through, right, because of the tools and resources and experiences they have up until now, are going through or are experiencing. So the reality is it's not my job to judge them. The reality is it's my job to love them, and it's my job to love myself. And so that leads us to this next piece. If I am out here judging other people, it's because I am judging myself. So if I release the judgment of myself, I cannot judge other people. And so that's the thing. That's kind of like become a very interesting piece where I see it all over the place. And it's taken away the sting of when I am judged about something. That's the other thing, is that knowing this idea that if somebody's judging me or if I'm judging someone else, it's because they're judging themselves or I'm judging myself. And so then when I am the recipient of judgment, I can look at that and go, isn't that interesting? My heart really goes out to them because obviously they're judging themselves and going through some deep stuff, because that was pretty painful, kind of what left their lips. And I heard what they said about me and that kind of thing. The same is true for me. I am not exempt from having judged other people. We talked a little bit about that. And even when I was judging, we talked about when I've had some judgments on my mom. We talked about in the last episode, I think it was, where in forgiveness, when we were talking about forgiveness, how out of everybody in my life, it's been the hardest for me to forgive her and the hardest for me to walk through that and have compassion for her and for other people that have heard my story to offer that to her. Well, the reality is if I'm judging her, there is something inside of me that is mirroring that behavior that's causing such an issue for me. It's causing such suffering inside of me that then I have to go judge her. I have some kind of expectation she hasn't met. I'm putting myself onto her and creating this suffering that's unnecessary. The reality is it just is. It just is what it is. She is not out there, and most people are not out there going, I just really want to make Jen so mad and upset. People aren't even thinking about you most of the time. They're thinking about themselves, all wrapped up in themselves. And so this was, I'll tell you another story that is just keeps popping up in my head. I remember the first real estate brokerage I ever worked at here in Fairbanks. I had been there probably 8 months or so at this time. And I'm known to be pretty bold. I say kind of what's on my mind. Sometimes it's awesome. Sometimes it's not awesome. Sometimes I've got a lot more grace than other times. And sometimes I've just word vomited, but a lot of times what I say, it really is coming from the heart. And so I just say it. And I really have always had this mentality that I really don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a senator or a real estate licensee. If I think something that is wrong, I'm going to say it. And so there was this one particular day, we're sitting at a staff meeting. It's like a sales meeting or something. And we're saying something, and I'm saying being how I am, which is just bold and saying what I feel in my heart. And I got some feedback that said, Jen, it sounds a little bit like you're entitled. And I could tell that this person delivering this message to me was loving, wasn't trying to hurt my feelings or anything. She was just trying to create an opportunity for me to have some awareness about how this is coming off to other people, which is very good feedback for us to listen to. Well, instead, what I chose to do was take that information as, oh my gosh, I'm wrong and bad. And you just saw me. And so I can't ever really be in relationship with you anymore. And you don't like me. And I'm going to judge myself and judge you for judging me. All those things. And that just is very closed, very closed, very unproductive ways to think about circumstances. And I think about that moment a lot. And there's been times now in my career where I hear myself and I go, oh, that is what she was talking about. Okay. And it's not an opportunity for me to judge myself as bad or wrong or terrible or entitled or whatever. It's just for me to go, oh, especially for the work that I want to do, which is talk to all of you. It's better if I don't sound like that, right? It's better if I don't sound entitled. It's better if I come off and communicate in a way that's open and loving, no matter what I have to say. And it's not bad that I say things. It's important to shift the way that I'm saying them, right? And that's just learning. Another opportunity I had was just this year. Just this year, I am at leadership class. I am assisting facilitation. We're traveling to do this, and it's been an amazing time. Well, this particular day, I think we were all just a little bit off, but we're all really open and just kind of going for it and being ourselves and things like that, which is beautiful. And there's a section of this class where we talk about persona and the different ways we hide our character, our true character, and put on our persona. And we're having a breakaway, and I ask my dear friend, and I said, hey, I'm open for feedback. Tell me, what do you think? And she says to me, well, I think that I would like you to be like you and not like me. And I was just like, I received it. And I just remember I wanted to stay as stoic as possible because I didn't want her to see visually how that, for me, I took that very harsh. I took it very judgmentally. I took it very like, well, geez, if you had just told me this a while ago, I would have already done that. And then I also took it very personally, like, well, I don't know how to be like myself. And so I need to be like somebody else. And so started making excuses as to why that might be the case. And then it went on to kind of disrupt my next few months. It became so heavy for me that I just processed this and processed this and processed this and processed this. I didn't really want to talk to her. I didn't really want to engage much. I was like offended. And yet my sweet friend is delivering some feedback for me, some feedback that I just asked her for, right? I just said, I'm open for feedback. And then I get it. And I'm like, I was not open for feedback. Thank you very much for playing. Don't ever do that again kind of behavior. And that is closed, no growth happening, staying stuck in the comfort zone, all those things behavior. Okay. So as soon as I could then a few months later begin to be more open with this, with what has happened, not take it personally, and start to usher in ask for some clarity and for awareness. It became so beautiful. The things that then began to unravel, for me, once I started to just accept what was said and go, she does love me. I do know that for a fact. She does love me. She's one of the safest people I know. She would never say something to personally hurt or offend me. I know that for a fact. And so what is here for me to learn? And the reality is I needed an opportunity to learn how to be like myself, and that I don't have to be like her, that I am absolutely beautiful and gracious and miraculous and fantastic and amazing and successful and radiant Jen Majors. I don't need to be another person. My job is to be myself. And so taking that information, letting it be feedback, being open, releasing the judgment I was holding against her, releasing the judgment I was holding against myself, releasing the fear that, oh my gosh, she saw me and oh my gosh, she judged me and doesn't like me anymore. That was not the case at all. She absolutely loves me. And working with that and going, oh, okay, this is an opportunity for me to grow that comfort zone. Yes, Jennifer, it's time to figure out what you want and who you are and what you are doing. You have been swayed and shifted and kind of going with whatever is going on in your life. And now here you're ready to move into life, the powerful creator, businesswoman, leader, podcast creator, author, speaker that you desire to be. And guess what? I can't be those things if I'm trying to be like somebody else, because guess what? She's already doing it and she's pretty successful at being herself. And so it's time for me to be myself and time for me to move into that. So I'm saying all that to say that when we hold our judgment, we can't see those things. When we're holding judgment, we can't see the miracle in what's transpiring there. And when we're holding judgment, we are judging ourselves. So I ask you, what is going on with you? Where are you experiencing judgment in your life? Are you judging yourself? Are you judging someone else? I mean, let's even think about this very close to home. Are you judging your spouse? You judging your kids? Judging your parents? You judging your friends? You judging your coworkers? You judging your team? Judging your partner? What are you judging today? And is there an opportunity for you to look at that judgment and see where you're judging yourself first, and then to offer yourself some release of that judgment in the form of love and compassion that says, isn't this interesting? And what is here for me? What is here for me? What's the miracle in this? The thing is, there's always something to be learned in every single thing we experience in our life. So what is it? What is it for you to learn from this judgment that you might be holding? And I invite you, just like the Buddha says, that holding judgment, holding resentment is like holding a hot coal. You're expecting it to burn somebody else, but it's just burning you. So I invite you today to release those things and watch what happens. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It's a short one today. We're looking at about 16 minutes. I'm super excited about that. I hope you have a wonderful day. Like I say every time, please pop in, look at me up on YouTube, Jen Majors. You can go to my website, jenmajors.com, and click the YouTube link right from there if you click on podcast. You could also find me if you're interested in looking at doing some life coaching. I do have openings coming up. And so I offer individual life coaching. I do it in person. I have a coaching office, and I do it online via Zoom and things like that. So if you're not here in Alaska, that's okay. We can still coach. So you can find some information on my website about that. And then you can also, I do group coaching. So I do some group coaching with at least 3 people or more. And then I do some workshops. I do sometimes a vision board workshop where I usually host these at the beginning of the year, where we create vision boards and things like that. I do that with my team often as well. So look up my website, jenmajors.com, and see what's there. If you're interested in real estate, you can even find my information on there. It'll give you a link to my real estate website, experiencealaskahomes.com. Next podcast, we're going to be talking about taking 100% responsibility for your life and everything in it. So be ready. That's going to be a powerful one. I look forward to seeing you then. And thank you so much for being here with me today and taking the time. I wish you a most amazing and blessed week, everybody. Thank you.